Hello everyone, Shadefyre here, and welcome back to Let's Play Control. This is episode 6. So last time we came down here to the research sector to try and find Marshall, who is seemingly still alive but in trouble. We also trapped one of the anomalies from the astral plane that was being kept in a shitty wooden room. Oh. We got a mission from this object. Processes and Best Practices Astronaut Program. This report serves as an introductory guide to the Astronaut Program, including candidate requirements, training practices, and astral research procedures. Astronauts are chosen individuals who explore and document the astral plane by making physical contact with the X-ray light box. See case file OOP-18 for details in the Hypnosis Lab, a section of the Parapsychology Division. Physical and psychological training is vital for the repeated transition between planes, known as dives. After each dive, astronauts must undergo a redacted session in the cognitive recording chairs to record their experience in the plane. And they mentioned that some of the people who are doing that cognitive recording are the ones that became the floating hiss, which is why they're still wearing the gear. Gathered data has conclusively proven that redacted within the astral plane vary widely between astronauts. On rare occasion, these dives can result in losses, often occurring when teams encounter aggressive astral entities. Alright, so I guess our mission will be to obtain that object power. I'm not really sure why we'd want to do dives manually, but maybe there's areas with special dives. Groupthink. Utilization of paranatural elements, rethinking groupthink. This study extends the work of Irving Janis, Robert Barron, and others by proposing strong causal links between groupthink and the passive or active use of telepathy. To prove these connections, the Parapsychology Department carried out variations of Solomon Asch's original conformity experiments using a telepathic individual as the subject. See experiments redacted for details. Extensive qualitative and quantitative data resulting from these experiments was then used to identify telepathic interference within the group. Further empirical findings suggest measures can be taken to safeguard against telepathic influence on behaviors by engaging in redacted. Rather boldly, this paper stands to revolutionize decades of groupthink theory and provide new directions for further experimentation on the mind, including manipulation of redacted and redacted. Alright, so this division is pretty big, and we're only in the parapsychology section of it. So we're going to be spending a fair amount of time down here, I think. Though we're probably not going to see everything this time, as we haven't with the other areas. Okay, so that box is in a room that seems to be currently inaccessible. What about our other mission? Our main mission? It just says take the elevator to reach Marshall. I guess we'll do that. There's a distinct lack of elevator music in the Bureau. Are you friendly?
Welcome to the party, ma'am. Marshall is right down the hall.
And they're also using those chunky-ass machine guns. I forget what those are called. Those are like, I want to say World War I era. Did any of you notice this dead guy over here? Rubber Duck Supplement. Rubber Duck, AI-52AE, discovered in the home of Agent Redacted after his young daughter complained of being followed by her rubber duck. According to Agent Redacted, the matter was ignored, believing to be the result of a child's imagination, until he began to hear the quacking at night. After discovering the item hiding in his daughter's closet, he brought it to the Bureau for study. Update. It was discovered that Agent Redacted was bringing known paranatural materials into his home, illegally taking them outside the oldest house. How this may have affected the creation of an alternate item is being investigated. Agent Redacted has been terminated. Well, this guy's been terminated too. Wouldn't be surprised if we find that rubber duck at some point.
Marshall's eager to speak with you, ma'am. She's just down the hall.
You think you could, like, get these people down with a rope and just kind of tug them down? you know, kind of like stuff them all in an office or something. Are these just like straight up California redwoods growing in the oldest house? Okay, another control point here. Let me clean that up for you. Oh. That was a lot less violent. She didn't have to slam her hand down or anything, because I guess it was already uncorrupted. We just had to link to it. Luck and probability. Oh, she's got quite a team down here. Probably doing better than everybody else. What is this fish? I mean, some of these folks don't look like they're doing so hot. Am I just taking this 4-leaf clover? Alright, take it with me.
There you are. I was starting to worry.
Hold on, I gotta touch everything, see how lucky I can get. When it's right side up, you can see it holds all the luck, but when you turn it upside down, all the luck falls out. Review. Well, they definitely seem to have some newer weapons in here. Clearance level 5. Wonder what the highest clearance level is.
Congratulations on your appointment, Director Phaeton. I'm Helen Marshall, head of Bureau Operations. Zachariah's dead then, and I assume you found his gun.
Just call me Jesse.
I just walked in
Trench
off the
told me
street.
to find you. He said you could help.
And he told you this through the hotline. Makes sense.
None of this phases her.
Does that make sense?
Really?
Here's the situation. Darling created the HRAs in a lab nearby. We need more if we're gonna survive this attack. My rangers can't secure the lab alone, not against those things. We need more firepower.
At least she seems to know what's going on here. She could know about Dylan.
I mean, she
I
apparently
can
knows
figure
all the
things.
Bureau's
I'll be your
secrets.
firepower.
Or at least most
That's
of them.
a good answer.
Is she testing me?
Darling has systems in place to protect his labs. This should help you get past them. We'll talk more after you clear out the hiss. Rangers, let her through.
Alright, well, that's simple
We'll have
enough.
to lock the door behind you. Sorry, but we can't risk a breach.
She says they need more HRAs if we're going to survive this, but, I mean, I assume everybody who's still alive has one. There isn't anybody else to give them to. Oh boy, she was not kidding. It is busy down there. What are they shooting at, though? Looks like they're fighting somebody else. Unless that's the Rangers.
I see Rangers over there.
Oh, I guess it is. How did that miss? That's cool. It's not like I need to see what I'm doing. Oh no, you're not getting away from me. Something is healing him, though. Oh, apparently that was a Bureau alert? That's why there were so fucking many of them? I was trying to remember what we've read about something that could heal other hiss. There was a mention of that. I think that's just what those red spheres do. Okay, do we have enough for the other form? Construct Pierce. Pierce is precise with a charged shot that penetrates armor and enemies at any range. So yeah, that's our sniper equivalent, which I have just enough to afford. And then I should probably upgrade Grip next, since that's our go-to. Alright. So... guess I'll switch out Shatter for now. I mean, we could always just switch it on the fly. Extra damage while aiming. The zoom boost. Could really use like a headshot bonus. Oh, that's a pretty cool one. Though it still looks like a weird crossbow. Just like Shatter. Alright.
What's the situation?
Squad C hasn't made it back.
Let's try this again. Hopefully there won't be as many. Nope, it
Rangers over there.
still looks like there's just as many.
Help them.
Oh, that took out the sphere. Only get 2 shots of this, though. And it looks like you can't hold it indefinitely. Still, it charges back pretty fast. It does kind of annihilate them. It's probably overkill for these unarmored enemies. Okay, there's the sphere. That's their healer taken care of. A lot of demo men down here. Alright, I think we got this covered now. Oh, shit. Shatter or Pierce is definitely not going to be good against these. I mean, it seems like these Rangers are just uncorrupted versions of the Hiss Rangers. Which makes sense, since those are just corrupted Hiss Rangers. Or regular Hiss. Okay, I think we got them all. Gotta hoover up all our goodies. All these intrusive patterns. Oh. I think it's closed off until I... Yeah, let's pop this control point. That's very close to the other one. Oh. There's the Parakinesiology chief. Alright, let's see if I can hit him. I don't know what that white bar is. It doesn't seem to be a shield, it seems to just be his energy. Not really doing that much damage to him, though. He seems to have a better mastery of telekinesis than I do. But he doesn't have a gun. They're still shooting, so something else is still around. Oh. I think we might have lost all the Rangers. Health recovery. Hiss warped. His cluster. I feel like we haven't actually seen this yet. Hiss clusters are unique in that they are concentrated manifestations of Hiss resonance without the need of a host. Hiss clusters are dense spherical compressions of Hiss resonance that serve support functions in the hierarchy of Hiss entities. The clusters are capable of replenishing Hiss hosts with infusions of resonance. This does not heal any physical damage inflicted on the organic host, but rather seems to rejuvenate them, allowing them to endure more bodily harm than normally possible. The fact that the Hiss make an effort to preserve its corrupted hosts underlines a level of awareness and discretion that was previously just speculation on my part. Can this entity be considered an individual, or simply an extension of the Hiss as a whole? Capturing one alive would be quite interesting. The Hiss Warped wield only paranatural abilities, similar to drifters. They are able to telekinetically shield themselves with nearby material and launch objects at their target. These entities are particularly destructive and difficult to kill, possibly indicating a greater internal reinforcement of Hiss resonance. Why do certain Hiss display paranatural abilities while others rely on Bureau firearms? Do certain corrupted entities have less potential than the hosts to become Hiss warped? Or is this perhaps an indication of evolution or maturation of the Hiss corruption? Are there other stages of evolution yet to be found? What if the Hiss inhabits a host for a month, a year? Do hosts expire after a certain amount of time? Does the corruption become too strong for an organic body to endure? Only time and well-documented observation will tell. Well, you know, at the end of this, they're going to want to put some of these Hiss into a room. Funny thing, apparently they said they're adding a patch coming up that is going to make the map more useful. Because, to be fair, the map is not very good right now. As I mentioned before, it doesn't show multiple levels. It just compresses them all into one. But I don't really know how you could change that in just a 2D map. It's not like we're going to get a Metroid Prime map here. Synchronicity Lab. Okay, well, we don't have a reason to be here. See if there's anything lying around, I guess. Does this actually... Well, it leads into a hallway that seems to just go off the map. Kinda want to see if there was anything in here. Wonder, what kind of test was this exactly? Okay, I don't see any documents lying around. Is that part of what Marshall was wearing? It's definitely some weird things that happen here in the research lab. Mirror testing. Oh, that is level 6 clearance. Not gonna be getting in there anytime soon. Got a room with a whole lot of monitors. Synchronicity experiment. Oops. Nope. If you miss that prompt, you just have to do it yourself. Examination of paranatural topics. Experimentation with global synchronicity. As a test, television sets were placed in a variety of locations around the world inside rooms identically decorated. The hypothesis was that by identically altering the decor of every room, and then changing the channel in every room but one, that the single differing television would spontaneously align the incoming frequency to match its synchronized counterparts. The experiment seemed like a failure until it was observed that the agents responsible for arranging and monitoring these rooms were all experiencing the same emotional turmoil as one clinically depressed member of the team, himself being located in the eastern part of Redacted. Psychological examination of agents proved the correlation. Interestingly, the phenomenon of synchronicity did occur, but not in the way we predicted. I mean, the synchronicity stuff is an interesting thing for them to test, but not a very interesting subject in terms of the various weird things we'll find in this place. It's just like, yeah, you can create links between things. Alright. So I guess we still have more to secure. Central research. Wonder why that's blocked off. I think that's the same door that was blocked from the other side, because we did see a Ritual Division room. I don't know where this leads. I didn't think we'd go through an elevator to get to Ritual Office. This is where we perform the HRA ritual. Carla, file received. Thank you for the file, it was very helpful. I've re-archived it with the Black Rock research in case you need to refer to them again. Yes, the video shoots are always interesting. I expect my availability for those to decrease in the future, however, as my analysis of this newly discovered Black Rock variant is reaching a critical point. I hope you will be able to attend them still. Darling seems to be under a lot of pressure lately, and I'm sure he would appreciate any support you can provide. Regarding the analysis you provided, I do not have any questions. Right, this was him trying to be flirtatious with Carla, the other guy that shows up in Darling's videos. And she's like, yeah, no, I'm good. Sorry, what? What is happening here? She seemed like she couldn't decide if she was going to walk up there or not. Rituals. Tangible effect of rituals. Obsessive-compulsive disorder, hoarding, anxiety disorder. While certain manifestations of these conditions are simply the result of mental illness, sometimes the individuals are simply performing redacted, called rituals. The redacted of rituals can vary. Numerology, dream logic, forfeiture, verbal formulae, repetitive action, and casual tethering are just some of the procedures involved. Some rituals are consistent, such as pulling the light switch cord 3 times to enter the motel, but some are erratic. While most people engage in minor rituals every day, the vast majority do not understand the importance behind their actions. Avoiding disaster, amassing luck, or simply locating lost keys are all the result of daily rituals. Individuals who recognize a deeper meaning behind these compulsive actions are inherently aware of the paranatural world, and when located should be considered for employment at the Bureau. It's all connected. Alright, here's an example of the map problem. It says that I should just be able to go through here to get where I need to go, but that's on a different floor. That just happens to line up with that wall. So there's not really any reason to be in here. Alright. Like, I'm tempted to just look everywhere, but I feel like I should maybe focus and beeline a little bit. Otherwise I'll end up spending a whole episode reading notes again. Okay, so there was definitely something in here. Another note, surprise, surprise. I mean, I'll kind of prefer audio logs over having to read all of these. The Threshold Kids, Initiative Proposal. With the recent arrival of the Redacted, there are certain glaring gaps in the Bureau's ability to educate and raise a young Redacted. There are no other Redacted for Redacted to play with, and Redacted is expected to learn about a frightening new concepts. Frightening new concepts doesn't make sense. Redacted will require a slow, redacted-friendly introduction. Are these all just redacted child-friendly introduction to paranatural topics? With this in mind, allow me to introduce the Threshold Kids, a television show in which a cast of cheerful puppets explain the dangers of living at the Bureau, but also show the fun side of the paranatural. Budget would be minimal. I took a few puppet-making courses at my local community center. We can have research staff build the sets, record the footage, and even do the voices. It'll be good for morale, and I guarantee Redacted will respond positively to these videos. We can't expect a Redacted to enjoy lectures and people in lab coats, but as television has proven for years, Redacted love puppets. So, that could be relating to Dylan. If they brought him here as a child, and they're like, we're gonna teach him all about the Bureau. Protective studies. Well, this seems like where the HRAs would be produced. If this is where they make things to defend themselves against the paranatural. Ammo refund. I just wanted to break the fragile crate, which was apparently empty. Okay, here's more of these things we keep seeing everywhere. So there is a significance to those.
Altered item number 52AE analysis, session 2. I will begin by introducing various stimuli to the item. First, a low voltage charge. No response. Next, I will introduce heat via a standard Bunsen burner.
It's just gonna end with her dying.
No response. Next, a series of solutions will be applied, each with a different value on the pH scale, from 0 to 14.
I mean, it's clearly
No response to any value.
an altered object.
Next, I will attempt to communicate. Can you understand me?
I like that attempt to communicate
Can
was
you
not the first thing.
understand my words? Quack if you can understand my words. No response. This concludes session 2. We'll need time to prepare further tests.
We need to know what this duck does. Does that mean it's like teleporting between these rooms or something?
This way to the lab? Okay. You must like these HRAs. Sounds like Darling built them. And most of the things around here. If Marshall can't help us with Dylan, he's our next best bet. Assuming he's not dead. Or taken over by the hiss.
This seems like a hallway that is very much meant to demonstrate ray tracing, based on these light shafts and everything, which I don't have turned on, but I'm just guessing that's probably why it looks like that. There's a door back here. Some kind of evil gurgling noises coming from these pipes. But also the duck. What is this room? Why are there so many crates in it? I really need to erase some of my shitty mods. Up, down, left, right. No. It's a strange puzzle. Can you identify this shape? Alright, then you can come through to the HRA Lab.
You led me here. Any idea how to make it work?
Clearly Darling was obsessed with whatever this shape is. before we touch the big machine, let's look for some notes. Inescapable notes. Black Rock Prisms are unique formations of black rock, distinct in both their shape and potency. While the density of black rock dampens paranatural forces, the unique redacted structure of prisms retain frequencies in the range of redacted to redacted hertz with perfect redacted harmonization. This report analyzes the result of focusing a redacted through a harmonized prism onto a redacted. Methods for imprinting of non-physical fields onto redacted, imbuing them with the properties of the harmonized resonance redacted in the prism, will be explored and explained. So I guess these HRAs are made out of black rock. And if we wanted to make more, we would need the Black Rock Quarry to be accessible. Let's make a prism.
Hello again, Director. It appears we have a new problem. We need to get the HRA machine working.
I've replaced a couple of spark plugs, but this looks a bit more complicated.
Darling must have had a system. Randomness isn't in his nature. The punch cards, the symbols, the terminals. How do they connect?
I'll see what I can do.
Okay, well, we don't have any punch cards. I mean, are these the two I'm gonna need? And we got ourselves a puzzle here. Okay, there are 3 terminals. Too powerful for our
We
USB.
need to find all the punch cards.
She says that, but like I'm pretty sure I have them all, unless there's some up here. Yeah, these all seem like the incorrect configurations, and we need to find the right one. Is this another? This is another punch card terminal. Okay, well, there's all 5, I guess. So there's different ones crossed out, which means maybe we keep the ones that are not crossed out. Also, how do I know which one's which? You can only put 1 in each, so how do I know which one is the first one? Okay, so top right quadrant and nuclear symbol. Be this one. And then the... Well, that's the problem again. The second last one, but which one is the second last one? I don't suppose they're numbered.
Each punch card should correspond to a terminal.
Okay, there's number 4. I think they have numbers. So, yeah, number 4 is top filled in and right side square. Top filled in, right side square. Okay, I think we got this. Number 5, number 3. So for this one, changing variables, so I'm guessing that means that we swap these. Black center and 1 panel.
These whiteboard drawings may be important.
Jesus, Marshall, you don't need to constantly give me tips. I'm working through it here. Okay, so number 2 is solid center. Number 3 is just 1 piece in the center. Okay, so now we just need the last one, right? No, we have 2 left.
It looks like he was working on something to do with these symbols.
Marshall, please. So 1 is the nuclear core. And that means 4 is the last one left. Let's see if this does anything. Where is number 4? It's up here. I already forgot there was a number up here. Hmm.
What do the symbols mean?
The symbols! What do the symbols mean, Mason? So I didn't put one in 5. Was that correct? It sounds correct. Sounds like it's doing something. Make me a pyramid. I mean a prism. Which is like a pyramid.
The prism shattered.
Yeah, no shit.
Prototypes have a lot of issues. We need a new plan.
I need you to go to the Black Rock Quarry and find another sample.
We need more Black Rock Prisms to make this machine work. Darling has another lab down in the Black Rock processing site in maintenance. That must be where he keeps the prisms.
I've been to maintenance already. I can find my way. But how long will that take? Nothing here is simple. I need to ask her now, before I go.
Yeah, this is where we hit the point where we have to
something
start
from you first.
traveling around to places we've been.
What do you know about Dylan Faden?
I knew this was coming. Lives are at stake here, and we need this machine working to save those lives. Once that is done, Director Faden, then we can talk.
She's right. As much as I don't want to admit it.
It'll be complicated.
I'm the only one who can help. Fine. I'll get the prisms first. Dylan will have to wait just a little longer. But don't call me Director. Jesse is fine.
I'll call you Faden. Here, you'll need this keycard.
Thanks. Emily Pope has set up a base in Executive. Once I have the prism, I'll meet you there.
Right. I'll move out immediately. And keep an eye out for Darling. Finding him might be the key to stopping the hiss.
Just make sure to fight your way back to Executive. You can't teleport like us.
HRA. It's there now. We are about to be exposed to a different kind of resonance. Hostile, viral, invasive resonance. That's what the Hedren resonance amplifiers are for. Taking the protection Hedren can provide us and keeping us from being wiped out.
So he very clearly knew what was coming. This must be the Black Rock Quarry. Which is presumably beyond a
This will lead
threshold.
back to Central Research.
Didn't they say they were like regular non-bureau personnel working in the quarry? Yeah, we need you to just come down to this space quarry. That was there the whole time. I feel like I tried to go through there last episode and I'm like, why is this blocked off? And there's the Ritual Division door. Okay, so we're back at the section elevator, but there's so much stuff we didn't actually do in here. I mean, we have that other quest. Not that I would know how to get to it, since it is behind a wall, but... curious what this area was. It's probably locked off by a door I can't open yet. I hit him on the way over to me. That was a chair guy. So those must be the ones that were having their brains scanned when they got converted. That takes them down in one good shot. I hope that all those enemies down there didn't spawn too. I just wanted to see what this was. Dimensional research. Is that a good sound or a bad sound? Oh, okay, well, it stopped, so... Let's see what this bizarre room is. Fire break.
Constantly changing labyrinth. Can never pass through. Dimensional research. Every measure of security.
This is one of the scrubbed areas. So whatever is in this section is dangerous enough that it needed a big empty room separating it. Ashtray Maze. Do I really want to go in here? I would say probably not, because I feel like we're just going somewhere that we can't do anything yet. Interesting. Did that... It did just change. Weird. And very disorienting. I can't tell how the perception thing works here. I wonder if it's just looking at the portrait that alters the room. Okay. Just went in a circle. But what if I go back in reverse? Smash my way through the maze. That is a cool effect, though, when it closes. Okay. These both look like... They're all the same angle, and this is the angle. Well, that opened a different room this time. This is just a straight view down a hallway, but there is no hallway. I wonder if I can trigger one of the... No, those changes seem to happen pretty instantaneously. Oh, that one's askew now. I feel like that wasn't the case before. I'm not sure we can go further into there yet. But it feels like somewhere we'll have to go later. Still, it's a cool area. It's definitely weird, whatever it is. Did we get another trench from that? I think we did. No, but we got a thing from the board at some point. Objects of power are holders. 665. We are failing in translating hyperreal concepts. We tried to explain, but do not have the terminology required. So this is the full thing of what we just saw.
Resonance is the key. Vibration, frequencies, waveforms, fields we didn't know were there. It's physics. These fields in complex interaction, altering reality that comes to contact with them. Hedren is communicating with me. It's trying to warn me of something imminent.
But who is Hedren?
I've been using every known method to analyze the data. Exposing myself to it. I'm seeing things and overcome by compulsion. It's not just data, it's protection. It's benign. We are about to be exposed to a different kind of resonance. Hostile, viral, invasive resonance. That's what the Hedren resonance amplifiers are for. Taking the protection Hedren can provide us and keeping us from being wiped out.
Wonder if Hedren is another interdimensional entity like Polaris. Or possibly the same one. Who's to say that Jesse is the only one that can see them? After all, Darling probably has been messing around with the projector, and that's where it came from. Alright, so where was the suction elevator? It's over here, right? Let's head down to maintenance again. Though I suppose we could have easily just teleported. And maybe see what Ati has to say about the Black Rock Quarry before we go there. And then I think that'll do it for this episode. Not too much happening. We're kind of just doing the middle stuff right now. A lot of combat in that area. Change your outfit at the control point in Central Executive. Sure, as soon as you give me another one. I wonder if those are unlocked by some of those
Marshall knows something about Dylan.
optional side missions. Go to pneumatics. Oh, we haven't seen a pneumatics yet.
Is he here? Is he alright? HRAs first. I'll save everyone, including Dylan. Why spare him? Can you keep him safe? Like you do with me?
No. So we haven't actually been to this part of maintenance yet, because this is the main entrance, instead of the access shaft we went through. Thresholds. The oldest house is a place of influx. Thresholds appeared with no warning. What the threshold will contain is a question we can only answer once it manifests. The widely accepted theory is that thresholds are dimensions vibrating on a redacted frequency different from our own. When these frequencies match, the threshold will manifest in the oldest house, which acts as a redacted. Others theorize thresholds are parallel universes or possibly our own reality at a different point in time. Some believe our collection of altered materials affects the house or attracts the thresholds. We do know for certain that thresholds are not permanent. Eventually their frequency will shift. Some believe Earth itself is just another threshold connected to the oldest house, which is actually rooted in some other reality. This theory, while impossible to disprove, causes redacted in those who learn of it, so is actively denied. Okay, so this is... yeah, this is the part we didn't actually get to. We were on the other side of the power plant, and we need to go into the redacted sector. Got another one of these large bathrooms. Knock every toilet paper off of its holder. Or I guess they are very delicately balanced. And then a tiny other bathroom. Shatter projectile boost. It's a blue mod. So this should lead to... yeah, I think this door was just sealed before. Okay, well that just leads back that way. Is that just one enemy that spawned in this doorway? Field training. This is a smaller area. New mission, a good defense. I guess this is where they train their... I was gonna say rangers, but it seems weird for that to be in maintenance.
So I just read this. Welcome to the Ranger Field Training course. The course must be completed in the specified amount of time. When you're ready to start, press the button. Is that all, or?
I always did love obstacle courses.
Press to access the training field. Well, what is this mission? Complete the training course in the required time. Jesse learns of another object of power, a safe, in the field training obstacle course. When did that happen?
Get ready, Ranger. Course
Wow.
starting in 5, 4,
So
3,
enthusiastic.
2, 1. Go.
Oh, other way. I'm doing it.
"45 seconds remaining."
Oh. How's anybody supposed to do this without that power?
30 seconds remaining.
Oops. I could have just cheated and used my fly.
15 seconds remaining. Five seconds remaining. Course complete. Congratulations, Rainer. Can I do that one again?
Congratulations, Ranger.
Guessing this isn't usually part of the course.
Man, that thing has a lot of shit around it. I'm guessing it's gonna be
Protecting itself.
some kind of bubble power. Excuse me. Yep, out of the way. I do not have enough energy to throw that stuff away.
I need to hit it harder to break that shield.
How am I supposed to hit it harder? Okay, I think apparently just by throwing a lot of shit at it. Guess you weren't safe from me after all. The copies have been given weapons, projectiles. Shield yourself to pass, level up. Alright, again, doesn't actually tell me how to use the friggin' power. Shield is Q or the other side button. So yeah, I think this just gives us a good defensive power for not getting shot. And presumably also for things being thrown at us. Seems like I can maintain this without using more power, though. Yeah, fairly straightforward to use. And I can still dash while I have it equipped. Though I suppose the other important question is, can I shoot while I have it equipped? And it looks like no. She uses both hands to keep this field up. Alright, there we go. Got ourselves a new power. Oh, hello.
Good time to have a shield.
I was hoping I could do something with this, like throw it at them to discharge it. I guess what I can do with it is that. Ooh. His own shield wasn't so good. back of the head execution. Headshot boost. Just what I wanted. Alright, well. Once again, I think we can end on our new power. I wonder how many more there are. And if there are any kind of, like, passives. Where does this lead? No, that's where we started. I really wasn't expecting this little detour, but I guess we'll get to the Black Rock Quarry next time. There's really not a save point here, unless I go to the power plant. But you don't really need to. It saves every time you get something. I'm pretty sure it just saved when I opened that. So, that'll do it for episode 6 of Let's Play Control. Things are moving along, though we are in a little bit of a busy work stage, but I'm excited to see what this threshold looks like, because it looked like a weird alternate dimension. So, we'll check that out next time. But until then, I've been Shadefyre, and I hope you'll join me and Director Faden as we continue to explore the Bureau of Control. Take care, everyone.